Hello students, I hope all of you are in good shape and are taking care of your health, maintaining all the protocols and everything, whatever is necessary. So today I'll be providing the answers of most of the questions from the chapter Settling into the Secret Annex by Anne Frank, and at the same time, before providing the questions, discussing the questions, I would kind of give a brief discussion. We will have a brief discussion uh, on the previous chapters that we have already learned. I mean, it will be a revision video also. The chapters that we have already finished, we will be discussing today. You can ask me any question from any of those chapters. If there is any other query, even after I'm making this video, even after watching this video, when you will read those chapters in future, I mean before the examination, so if you face any kind of query, you can ask me, like, miss, in the next video you discuss this portion, or in the live class also you can ask. Okay, no problem. Okay, so the first chapter that I will short discussion I will give. My suggestion will be, if you have not watched the previous videos, I mean the main videos of those chapters, you please go and watch those videos. Otherwise, from this video only, you will not be able to understand the whole chapter. This is just a revision video. I will just mention some important portions, important topics. That's it, nothing else. Okay, if you want the details discussion of the chapter, on any chapter, you just go and check the main videos made on that chapter. Okay, the first one, in the Badgers of Hyderabad. Okay, so this particular poem, it's written by Sarojini Naidu. The important information is provided, some important information has been provided about the author, about the poet in every chapter, right? So go through that author's introduction or poet's introduction portion, because I have been telling you from the very beginning that you need to go through the chapter. You need to, sorry for the horn, you need to go through the chapter in such a way that you can attempt both MCQs, short of questions, and descriptives are obviously there. So go through each and every line, every sentence properly. Don't miss author's introduction, poet's introduction. So the main idea of this poem was she is depicting she is giving a pen picture of an Indian bazaar where various types of things are being sold by various kinds of sellers, merchants, vendors. There are magicians, there are sellers who are selling flowers, and other descriptions are also there. You need to be very much accurate who is selling what, because she has described that with utmost accuracy. So you also have to memorize these things appropriately. Okay, very uh, very much accurate you will have to be. You just can't write etc, because she has not written anything like that. So try to memorize each and everything. This is, otherwise this is a simple poem. It was a part of her protest, that she wanted to show that yes, we are boycotting the European or British products, because Indian markets, they have, those sailors have everything. We don't need other countrymen. We don't need the British people or European people to sail to uh, extend their business here. Okay, that was the kind of protest, but that is not much necessary for you. You just know it for your knowledge. Other than that, you just go through the whole poem. There was a confusion about the particular page number 30. Okay, page number 30, there was a confusion about that particular line. What do you chant, O magicians? Spells for the eons to come. So I rectified the thing in the second or third video, I don't remember. You check the videos, you will understand that this second line, this is also told by the narrator only. This is not an answer from the magician. She herself is asking something to the magician, and then she herself is guessing that, are you doing this? So what is this thing that she is guessing that the magician is doing? That she is guessing that the magician is chanting some spells to attain the eternal power. Okay, to attain the eternal power. That is the thing uh, described here, but she only is guessing, nothing else. Now the answers have been provided. The important thing from a poem is, as you know already, I'm sure that the poetic device, please go through the try to find out poetic devices properly, rhyme scheme. Poetic device you all know, like there was yeah, frail as a dragonfly's wing. Here you can find there is a simile, and if you find other poetic devices like personification, I don't know, if you find, you go and check and we will discuss in the live class. Okay, and rhyme scheme obviously that we have already discussed from the exercise portion in page number 31. Imagery has been described beautifully, so you go through it. If you don't understand, watch the video, attend the live class, you will understand, because we had it was not a short discussion, we had a discussion on imagery, and I think everyone understood. Even if you are having any kind of confusion, you feel free to ask me again. Okay, no problem. But memorize the names of the imagery for each kind of sense. Okay, like for I mean for taste, gustatory, for sound, auditory, these things, they have been mentioned here only, okay, in your book. So that's it. Now the chapter Suvira. Let me open the chapter. Yeah, page number 43. Page number 43. So from Suvira also the same thing, you need to go through the author's introduction, whether it is written in first person narrative or third person narrative point of view, that you try to understand and do let me know. And the feelings of Suvira, that is very important, like how her feelings, her confidence level, all these things get changed from the gradually from, I mean from in the beginning it was something else, she was feeling something else. At the end, towards the end, she felt something else. So what were the causes, or what was the cause of those changes, that you need to know. You should have a proper idea. And for MCQ, from where Suvira did come, house colors, uh, 800-meter race, names of persons. Most important thing, you need to have a vivid idea about each and every sentence. I can quote any important sentence and I can ask you any question regarding that particular sentence. So you should know which sentence is told by whom, to whom, or which sentence is thought by whom, why he or she is thinking about that particular thing, what is she feeling. Those kinds of things you need to have a vivid idea. Okay, one thing an interesting thing I decided to ask you to do, that I am giving you a task. This is not possible to mention in the study material, that's why I am telling here that the task is, from each chapter that we have already discussed, from each chapter, each of you will make your own questions. Question that is not present in the worksheet section of your book. A new question, and you should know the answer. Even if you don't know, you make the question. That is query. That is not your task. That comes under query, that you will ask to me. That you will ask me. That is not the task. That is okay. Always you can ask me questions about your queries. But the task is, you will find out question, you will try to frame questions, and obviously when you are framing a question, you will be able to answer your own question, I guess. So this is the task. You remind me in the live class that miss, you gave us this task, and we are prepared. Then we will share those questions with each other. We will try to get others answers also. Then you can check whether the answer that you have already framed, it can be modified by someone else's point or not, right? It would be interesting. You will have a very good understanding about each and every text. So this is the task you remind me in the live class. Okay, now yes, about Suvira I have told you, and her shoes, the part of her shoes, like she had old shoes, not Suvira, our narrator. She had old shoes and she was not very much confident. She was not feeling very much confident with those shoes, but later towards the end, those shoes became a pushing part. I mean, what to say? It worked as an agent to provide confidence. But why? Suddenly, why? She was very much bothered. She was a little tense for those old ones, and gradually those same shoes only became the point of confidence. How? You should have a good idea about this thing. And whatever you consider to be the climax, that must be a climax. It's not whatever you can consider means you cannot consider anything. You should have a legit points. And I'm repeating again, climax is a particular event. It's not a process. Climax means a particular event. Okay, it's not a process. So if you consider this particular event to be a climax, then why do you consider so? You should have that answer also. It's not that, ma'am, this is the climax, I don't know why. It's not the answer. It should not be the answer. You should have proper reasons also. Now, I think question number 7 and 8, someone asked me about those questions. I don't remember from this chapter Suvira only or not. I forgot to check it before making this video. Ask me in the live class. If from this chapter, I will explain it there, no problem. Or in the next video, no problem. Okay. Revise the exercise again and again. Try to modify your answer with correct and legit points. Okay. That's it. Now, settling into the secret annex. Oh, someone asked from the, I remember, from in the Badgers of Hyderabad, from that poem, someone asked whether the fourth stanza starts with "What do you cry?" or "What do you play?" No, the page is changed only. It starts from "What do you cry, O ye fruitmen?" The fourth stanza starts from here only. Okay, it is not starting from "What do you play?" Otherwise what? The fourth stanza is having 2 lines. Is it possible? No, absolutely not. The page is changed only. Okay, now why am I keeping the book aside? I need the book. Now settling into the secret annex. It's page number 137. Open the worksheet section. Okay, we have already discussed the short questions, I mean quick answer questions in the live class. So I have provided the answers, you just go through. Okay, if you find any handwriting problem, spelling problem, you can talk to me in the live class. I will rectify that. So question number 2. Last night the 4 of us went down to the private office. Who are the 4 of us and why did they go to the office at night? Hey, let me check whether the video is getting recorded or not, because my phone memory is disturbed. Yeah, it is getting recorded. Here, the quote-unquote 4 of us refers to Anne, her sister Margot, and their parents. Now, why did they go there? During World War II, I mean Second World War, when Anne's family was in hiding, they wanted to listen to England on the wireless, which was in Anne's father's office. So they went there at night. Now, the second question, what had the narrator's mother felt well enough? Wait. What had the narrator's mother felt well enough to do earlier in the day? The narrator's mother felt well enough to cook split pea soup earlier in the day. This is a very direct question. Did the narrator's mother accomplish the task? No. I hope you remember the incident. No, the narrator's mother didn't accomplish the task. She couldn't cook the soup as she went downstairs to talk and forgot all about the soup. Consequently, the peas were scorched black and no amount of scraping could get them out of the pan. Okay, so I read these questions so that you don't face any problem with the handwriting, or if there is any problem while reading, I will be also able to check that. Anyway, the third one, we started off immediately the first day with sewing curtains. What were the curtains made of? Why were the curtains needed? The curtains were made of scraps of fabric varying in shape, quality and pattern. The curtains were needed to cover the windows of the annex. Anne's family went into hiding during World War II to save their life as long as possible. To avoid neighbors' attention, they needed those curtains. Third question, based on the same sentence, is why does the narrator refer to the curtains as a work of art, quote unquote? The narrator refers to the curtains as a work of art because they varied greatly in shape, quality and pattern and were stitched together with the unskilled fingers of Anne and her father. They were patchy and appeared like modern art paintings. It could also be the fact that Anne referred to the curtains as work of art just to mock their own unskilled or imperfect creation. Unskilled. You can use another word in place of unskilled. Okay, something which is not very much good looking or which is not perfect, imperfect. You can use. Okay. Uh, 4. I may edit it. I may go for imperfect also. Check the study material. I have not uploaded it yet, so I may replace the word with something else. I don't know. Or you may replace. Now question number 4. Turned out we were all walking around with bumps on our foreheads. What had caused the bumps on their foreheads? Following Mr. Kugler's idea, a bookcase that opened like a door was built in front of the entrance to the annex. Initially, everyone banged their heads against the low doorway, causing bumps on their foreheads. Now B. Why were the curtains needed? Mr. Kugler suggested to make the already secret annex more secret as so many houses were being searched. Following his idea, that bookcase was built to hide the entrance. Yes, it's okay. Now question number C. How did Peter Van Daan try to solve the problem? Peter Van Daan cushioned the low doorway by nailing a towel stuffed with wood shavings to the door frame. Thus, he tried to solve the particular problem. Now, question number 5. How do you know that the narrator loved the Westerton clock? Anne has mentioned that she liked the Westerton clock as its sound was so reassuring to her, especially in the dead silence of night. During Second World War, Anne, along with her family, was hiding in the secret annex and always had to keep very quiet in order to not to be caught. But the cheerful little girl clearly mentions in her diary that silence used to make her nervous and scared, I guess, nervous. That is why the clock's chime reassured her in a way and she loved it. Now question number 6. What was special about the secret annex? You have already shared your ideas, so I have prepared my answer. You can obviously modify each and every answer with proper information, correct information. The annex didn't have the homely atmosphere, but it undoubtedly was the most comfortable hiding place in all of Holland. As it was damp and lopsided also, No one would easily suspect that someone could stay there. It served as the appropriate hiding place for two families who wanted to keep themselves hidden. Besides, Anne's family, along with the Van Dans, made modifications to the place that made it special and more like home. Now, question number 7. What did Anne and her family do to make their surroundings cheerful? What do you think? Why do you think there was a need to do so? The bedroom of the annex where Anne's family was hiding was bare and its walls were blank. Anne decorated the walls with her postcard and film store collection. She, along with her father, Shiv Curtains, planned to transform the empty food crates into bookshelves. After Van Dance's arrival, they made food safe, bookcase, and so on. If I have missed anything, you can add from the text only. In this way, they together made the surroundings cheerful. They needed to do so because it looked much more cheerful then. They had to stay in hiding in that place and wanted to feel at home in this house. That's all. They wanted to modify it. Now, question number 8. Do you think the narrator was happy with the situation? Support your answer with evidence from this text. The second part I have not answered. That's your duty to fulfill to complete this part. I have answered the first part. And naturally wasn't much happy with the situation, but she was aware of the necessity of living life secretly and in that way in the annex. In the secret annex would be better. It was the only way for them to survive. Time and again Anne felt nervous due to the silence of that place and kept on waiting eagerly for Van Dance to arrive so that she could get rid of the dull situation and wanted to find ray of positivity out of that adverse situation, wanted to decorate the bare walls with colorful postcards and film star collection to make them look cheerful. Thus, she tried to make the best of the situation. Now the in-text questions, uh, all the answers I have not provided obviously. The first one is why do you think Anne pasted her collection of postcards on the walls? The answer you can frame easily if you go through the answer of question number 7. Okay. Now the next one, why do you think the narrator was looking forward to Van Dance's arrival in the secret annex and used to feel nervous because of the silence of that place? Van Dance's arrival could make the situation a bit cheerful as it would be fun and not so quiet, and was looking forward to their arrival. Now, who helped the family in transforming the place? Okay, this particular question, listen, I have written the answer. Mr. Kugler's ideas and Mr. Vosquiz's efforts helped the family in transforming the place, but at the same time, in page number 139, here, if you go through the text, you will get Mr. Clayman and Maeve and Babe Vosquich. So I hope Mr. Clayman and Maeve, these two names, one of these two names, it refers to maybe Mr. Kugler. I don't know, Maeve Kugler or Clayman Kugler, but one of them I think stands for Mr. Kugler, but the other one, so I don't know which name you can include, so go for Mr. Kugler's ideas and Mr. Vosquiz's efforts, no problem. Explain the phrase our lives are changed. The phrase our lives are changed quote unquote refers to the life of Anne Frank and her family in hiding in the secret annex during World War II, you can add. With Van Dance's around, the life of Franks wasn't peaceful as before, as they were having disagreements and arguments with Dance. Besides, the Franks' life took a sharp U-turn as their normal life was disrupted. For example, Anne had to skip her school, her regular schoolwork entirely. They had to live in a strange way without making any sound, keeping themselves as much covered as possible. You can add any other example, you can replace this example with another example, no problem. So these are the answers that I have provided. The next in-text question was, do you think did the narrator and her mother agree on matters? Obviously no. She used to treat her like a baby, and Anne couldn't stand that fact. Okay, so I think they also had their own disagreements and arguments. So obviously no, the answer will be no, and then mention why it is a no. That's it. If you are facing any query, you ask me in the live class. I will be there to help you. If you want me to explain any particular portion again, no problem. I will revise that thing in the next videos after going through the remaining chapter. So don't worry, I will be there to help. But fulfill that task, okay? And today's worksheet is very important. Submit that worksheet positively. You take time, go through the chapters. After 5 or 7 days you can submit, but don't skip the worksheet. Okay, bye bye.